And so we were going across like 4 lanes of traffic because I was getting sick in a plastic bag in her car. Hey guys! So I thought that it would be fun to finally try and tell you guys some stories of weird things that have happened to me. So I decided to start with this story because I have a bunch of weird stories to tell you, but I don't think that they're ones that I should be putting on the internet quite yet because they are pretty like weighted, so I'm gonna wait on that. So I thought I would tell you about this time when I threw up in my friend's car 8 times. If throw up disgusts you, you'll probably be okay in this video, honestly, other than me saying it like 3 times. It's not like I'm gonna show you pictures or anything disgusting, so you'll probably be okay, but just so you know, if you are like very like disgusted by it and you can't even like talk about it at all, then it might not be that good for you, but it shouldn't be that bad. Alright, so this happened in February of 7th grade, so I believe it was 2010 or 2011. Yeah, 2011 I think it was. Yeah, 2011. So it's February of 2011, and I was actually sick during this time. I was sick from, I want to say, October until probably like May or the beginning of June. I had a problem with my stomach, so this was just a very bad time in life in general. And so this was February vacation, I believe, of 7th grade. And I remember I had a really bad headache that morning, but I got a call from one of my best friends at the time. Her name was Jordan, and I got a call from her that her and her 2 younger sisters and our friend Taylor were inviting me to go to some type of like arcade place with them, and I was really excited. So I remember I went outside, I asked my mom, and she talked to Jordan's mom a little bit, just like about what it would be like and stuff, and she said yes. So they came and they picked me up, and I remember that I still had a really bad headache, but it went away on the car ride there, which was really ironic, seeing as we were like talking really loud and listening to music, and there was 6 of us in the car, including her mom. So, yeah, that's ironic that the headache went away. But I'm pretty sure that I probably took like ibuprofen or something like that. But also because of being sick and just like everything happening at that time, this was also unrelated to me being sick, the time when we figured out that I was allergic to monosodium glutamate. So I was getting migraines all the time, and because of being sick and the migraines, I was getting headaches a lot. Like regular headaches, not just migraines. And then, a little bit of foreshadowing here, we also found out that I was sensitive to flashing lights and colored lights, so keep that in mind for later. So we get there and we go in and I think we probably did like a few games and stuff. Is that the phone? Sorry, I thought I heard the phone ringing, but it wasn't. So anyway, we went in and we did a few games and stuff, and then we saw that there was laser tag, and I looked inside and it was dark, but there were no flashing lights. It was just like dimmed, and then there were a few like colored lights on the ceiling. And so I was like, okay, that's totally okay, because there's no flashing lights, there's no strobe lights. And keep in mind, I hadn't been around them yet. So when we found out about the monosodium glutamate causing my migraines, it also said that flashing lights commonly also cause migraines, and the two usually go together. So we were like, okay, that probably definitely like causes it, because there were a few times when I'd like started to feel a little uneasy in situations where there were some flashing lights, but it never like, I was never like full out in that situation. So we were like just doing it to like stay safe and stuff. So we got our little like vests on, and we got our laser tag guns on, and we went in and we played a game of laser tag, and it was great, and it was really, really fun. And so we just kept going back in like over and over and over again. And we played about 10 games, I want to say. So like we'd do like 3 games in a row, and then we would go do something else. Then we'd do 4 games in a row, and then we'd do something else, and then we'd do another 3. And then by the end of these 10 games, at the end of the very last one, I started feeling really, really nauseous. They wanted to go in again, but I was like, ooh, I'm like feeling really sick, so I think I'm just gonna sit this one out. And so I went and I sat down, and Jordan's mom and her sisters, Gina and Jenna, came and sat with me. And by the way, I'm using their names because this isn't like, it's not like a bad story time, like there's nothing wrong with them, so like I'm not like trying to like conceal their names, but I think, yeah, so I think it's fine. But so we were sitting there, and I told her mom that I was feeling really, really sick, and her sisters wanted to go do more stuff, but her mom was like, no, we can't, like we gotta get her home, she feels nauseous. And so while we were waiting for them to come out, I was playing one of the games, like just an arcade game, and I ended up hitting like the jackpot for the tickets, and I got, I think it was like 200 tickets was the max, and I got them. And I just remember giving all the tickets to them because I just felt so sick that like I didn't want them. I didn't want to do anything with them. So I gave the tickets to them, and it was fun because I got to see them. I mean, like, it wasn't fun, but it was nice to like see them like all excited, and they went up to the ticket counter and they like divided the tickets, and they got a bunch of little like cool little prizes instead of getting like one big thing. I remember they got the little bottles of sour like candy that you squirt in your mouth, where there's like a lot, like I don't know, maybe like a lime one and then like a sour like strawberry one, where there's like 2 flavors and they're both sour, and you have to like squirt them in your mouth. And so they bought some of those, and I'm sure they bought some other stuff too, but I don't really remember. And then we got in the car and we started going home. And keep in mind, this place was really far away. It wasn't anything that was close to us. Like I'd say it was about an hour to 2 hours away. That's like a really big time frame, but it was really long. And so I just remember that about 10 minutes in, maybe 10 minutes, I don't really remember the time frame, but I felt so sick, and I was like, I am going to throw up. And I told them, and we were all super close, so like this isn't anything that really was like embarrassing me too much, because they weren't like, thankfully at least, they weren't like rude to me about it. They weren't upset with me because they knew that it was something that I like, you know, you can't control it. If you feel nauseous, you feel nauseous. It's not your fault. So they had like various containers in the car, so like one of them like handed me like a plastic bag, and I threw up. And so I got sick. And then, you know, when you like get sick, and for those split moments, like right after you get sick, you feel like completely better for like 2 minutes. And so that's what it would feel like. Like I would feel better, and I was like, okay, I feel like completely better now, I'm probably okay. And then I would say that it happened about every 15 to 20 minutes. So about 20 minutes later, I got sick again. And then her mom was like, okay, well, let's stop at like a Wendy's or something and we can get napkins and we can throw that in the dumpster. So we stopped at a Wendy's. I was waiting in the car with Gina and Jenna, and Jordan and Taylor went in to get napkins. And then her mom and we took the disgusting bag and we went on an adventure to find out how to get into the dumpster to throw it out. So we like opened the gate and we just like put it on the ground. Just like, okay, let's just leave it there, they'll know. Cause we couldn't get into the dumpster, but we weren't just gonna like leave it in the car. So like we put it inside the dumpster gate. And then Jordan and Taylor come back out and they're like, they were out of napkins in Wendy's. And like, they literally went up and they asked like, do you have any napkins? And because they wanted to get like a whole stack of napkins, not just like one or two, like a whole stack. And they were out of napkins. They had no napkins at all in a Wendy's. And they said it was like super crowded in there too. So they came back and they were like, sorry girl, we got nothing. And even though they weren't like rude to me, like I felt that they were like uncomfortable, which like obviously like makes sense. And it was like really nice that they didn't like show that too much, but like obviously like they're gonna be uncomfortable and like a bit grossed out. Like I totally get that, that's okay. So get back on the road and this was a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember like the whole like sequence of events that happened. But we get back on the road. We've still got probably like 45 minutes left, and I remember it was like not quite sunset, but like a little bit before golden hour. So, or maybe it was golden hour, but like I remember the sky was all like cloudy and like pastel and like colorful, and I remember the song by Lady Gaga called Judas was playing, and I just felt terrible. And like, do you ever have like the weather, the scents around you, and the music around you really like impact how you're feeling at that moment? So like when I'm sick, the weather makes me feel like mentally worse, and I don't know why. No matter what the weather is, like there's no win. And then whatever I smell makes it worse, and whatever music is playing makes it worse, whether I like it or not. It just makes it worse. I think now would be better, but like at the time it was absolutely awful. So I remember those things just like, they made me feel worse. And I was also upset because every single time I would feel better, I would think, is that the last time that I'm gonna be sick? Because I would throw up, I'd feel better for 5 minutes, and then it would slowly start coming back, and then I'd throw up again. And so we kept driving, and Jordan's mom, she said, well, we were on the highway, and so she said, next time she starts to get sick, let me know, and I'm gonna pull over so that we can like get rid of the stuff. And so I started getting sick, and I just remember Jordan was like, she's throwing up, Mom, she's throwing up, pull over, pull over. And her mom was like, I'm going. And so we were going across like 4 lanes of traffic because I was getting sick, in a plastic bag, in her car. And then we pulled over, her mom and I got out, and we took plastic bag and we just left it on the side of the highway. And because what else are we supposed to do with it? Like, what are we gonna do with it? Like, I feel bad for like littering, but I don't know what else to do, because like the bag was also like, I don't want to be gross, any more gross than we're already talking about, but like it was not holding up very well. So we were like, we need to get that out of the car and away. And I remember telling her mom while we were standing on the side of the highway after we put the bag down, that I was starting to feel feelings of how it feels when I get the migraines. And because she's like, you know, being a mom and being responsible for me that day, she was like, you know, asking me all those questions, and like she was concerned, of course, because she's got to tell my parents what happened, and you know, like, being a mom, like, she's gonna wonder anyway, because, like, that's just kind of like a mom thing. If you don't feel well, like, all the moms, like, come to you and, like, ask you what's wrong and, like, all that stuff. So she was asking me about that, and then we got back in the car, and they brought these cookies with them, and they came in, like, a big round metal tin. And so what happened was she put a plastic bag inside there so that it would hold up better, because they finished the cookies, so we had the empty bin. And I remember they had the food and they were, like, offering it to me, and I was like, oh, I can't right now, but thanks. And I was drinking water, I'm pretty sure. I think I probably had, like, an Altoid or something too, because they had mints with them. And then I got sick again, and I remember at one point we stopped somewhere to go to the bathroom, and my friends, they just, like, hugged me, and, like, they felt bad for me when we were in the bathroom, which was really nice of them. Again, like, I'm really glad that they weren't, like, mean to me about it. And so, let's see, what's next? I think I still ended up throwing up 8 times, but I think that this was the last, like, major event that I had to tell you about. So we got home, and I got out of the car, Jordan's mom got out of the car, and my parents were out front, like, doing gardening or something. And this is February, so it was, like, around sunset, so I'd say it was probably, like, 6:30, 6 or 6:30, and so we told my parents, and they were like, oh my gosh, wow, that's crazy. I also remember that the laser tag room had a very strong scent to it, like a scent that you could literally, like, feel in your nose. Like, it was extremely strong, like baby powder scent. It was really strange. But yeah, I got home. While Jordan's mom was talking to my parents, I was like, I gotta go inside, I'm about to be sick again. So I thanked Jordan's mom, she told me, I hope you feel better. And so I ran inside, I got sick in our downstairs bathroom, and then I remember I just, like, found Shadow and I just, like, hugged her. And I don't know if anybody else has this, but, like, that feeling when you, like, feel better for, like, a split second after you get sick is, like, the best feeling in the world. So I just, like, hugged her, and I think that that was the very last time that I got sick that night. And I just hugged her, and I think I just, like, laid down with her on the couch, and I got, like, ginger ale or something, like the usual for when a person is, like, sick. And that's all I remember from that. But it was really funny because after that, the way that her dad remembered me, because her dad wasn't there, but her dad remembered me as the girl who got sick in their car. And so that was kind of funny. I miss hanging out with them because they were really, really good people to hang out with. But we ended up going to different high schools, and so I never really saw them after that. But yeah, so that is the story of the time that I threw up in my friend's car 8 times. So yeah, I hope that it wasn't too boring, but thank you so much for watching, and I love you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!